Yvonnick Prené is a trailblazing harmonica player, bandleader, and educator based in New York City. With 5 albums under his belt, including the 2024 release Jobim's World, featuring top jazz artists, he's performed on many stages worldwide, from the Blue Note to Paris Jazz sur Seine Festival. He's a Horner ambassador and founder of the New York Harmonica School. He's taught over 500 students and written 10 instructional books on jazz and blues harmonica. So he's here to talk about his journey from Paris to New York. And Yvonnick, good to see you.
Hello, Abe. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. And I'm sure there's a lot to catch up on. So let's talk a little bit about you've had the chance to work with some great artists. I know you've gotten to perform with people like Vic Juris
Yeah.
or Mike Marino, that sort of thing. It's has anyone, like, jazz is such a collaborative thing and everyone brings their uh own voice to the music. Has there ever been a time where someone you've played with, the way they've played, completely shifted your playing in a way?
Of course, yes. But you mentioned Vic Joris, who was my one of my teacher at the new school. So it was around 2009, 2010, and but we played many years after when I graduated, 2012. After I asked him to perform at the side door in Connecticut with my band. So it was an organ quartet. I think it was with Jared Gold on organ, Alan Mennar on drums, and we played a few concerts after this one, and it was such a great experience to share the stage with Vic. Yeah, he's a great guy, and he really inspired me to push myself and to develop my improvisations, and just to make sure that I play the best that I can. And then it was really a night to be remembered. And there are a couple of videos on online on YouTube. I think there is one take of Bluesette, so it's great to watch. And then we played at in Marlborough at the Falcon. I think it was with Vic. Yes. So yeah, Vic Juris, but I mean, yeah, many have the chance to be in New York for a few years. I mean, almost like 15 years now, and I got the chance to play, to be on stage with some amazing jazz musicians like you. We played a few years ago uh, in Staten Island. I remember.
I could have done better, but
Yeah.
a lot's changed since 2017. I'll do a better job next time.
Yeah, and me too. Yeah, yeah. I was listening to some tapes of myself, like from before I left Paris to New York, 2006, 2007, and I couldn't believe myself what I was listening to. It was just really scary, like the way I played. I can't believe I played like this in public. So it was,
But looking, you think your younger self would be proud of who you are today and everything you've accomplished?
yeah, I think so. I think so. It took me many years to feel comfortable on the harmonica, and also as a musician to bring up every aspects of music, of musicianship that we need to develop in order to play jazz at the highest level that we can possibly ourselves. I mean, there is always a room to, of course, to improvement, but there is certain level, like even New York level, I would say, to reach. We need to be able to hear what we play, to hear the chord changes, and be able to transcribe, to hear music in certain way, to be able to play, to connect with other musicians on stage, and we need to be to know really well our instrument, so we can really improvise and feel free. We need to have a great time. So important, especially in New York. We need to be able to swing, to groove. That's probably the most important. So maybe at that time when I was younger, I had like, perhaps a facility playing the harmonica, but all the other aspects needed to be to reach the same level. So that's why jazz is one of the most difficult music to learn, because we need to not only be good on one aspect, but all the other aspects of musicianship that we need to be strong. So yes, when I heard that tape, I was in France in September, and just I had these CDs and mini disc around, and I started to listen to some live gigs in Paris, and yes, so I saw a lot of progress. Even
Well,
when
and you're a technical, a fantastic improviser, but also a technical virtuoso on the harmonica, because the harmonica, being that it's such a small instrument and you have to construct the way, you compare the size of a harmonica to a piano or something, and
yeah.
you want to be able to technically do very similar things. You're talking about the growth you've had. What are you exploring now? Like any particular thing like that's pushing you, like at during this like November 2024, like exploring anything in particular?
Well, yeah, just started back to work on specific rhythms. Uh, this weekend, I had a party with friends, with a drummer, Antoine Cara, French drummer, and then we had some discussions about rhythms and about playing music, because he likes to play all day long and film himself, and he shares on his Facebook, and he has such a great command of the drums. He's an incredible drummer that we're going to hear from in a few months, because he's putting out his first CD um, with me. He invited me on a few tracks, but especially he has Randy Brecker,
Oh wow.
Max Stern, Osnoy, that's how you pronounce it. So he has some amazing guests on the record, and so yeah, it's coming out in January. I think the title is Statue Co. I think that's yeah.
So he's
That's about,
someone we're going to be,
yeah.
hearing about, you're saying.
Yes, because he's up there in New York, and so no, we had a good time, and then we talked about what he was practicing on the drums, and then it made me, it inspired me to practice like playing 5/8. I mean, like in one bar, playing five notes, in space of one beat.
Five note groupings.
Yeah, five note groupings.
Got it.
Or, yeah, it also has a half notes, or you know, like this. So to work on that specifically, because before I am, and what I'm doing right now also is to always to work on new projects and recordings, and so learn new tunes always to bring to my different bands, like the organ, the gypsy jazz trio, quartet, and the quintet, quartet. So I have a lot of different bands and projects going on at the same time, and I always like to bring new songs, new arrangements, and also I like to play with my vinyl collections. I like to. That's what I do every day. I just put a vinyl and start from track one, take one, and just let it play, and take my harmonica and just go play along. I don't know the tune.
Whatever comes out.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's great. And you talked about New York. I think you and I both know that New York is a very there's a no shortage of jazz musicians, and there's some people who, like yourself, go to school, study the music in New York, but then afterwards they get very discouraged because it's so competitive, that sort of thing, but you've been doing it now, in New York City for such a long time and still maintaining an active schedule. That being said, has your view towards New York changed in the last couple of years now that you're a little, more established, everything? Or you still feel it has that you know, there's sort of this dark uh competitive thing that's beneath too.
Oh yes, yes, it's very competitive, and there's not too many places to perform, and you need to know the right person, and to get the some gigs, or you have to be early. Also, there's a new place just open, and so it's constant. You have to constant booking. I feel like you if you want really to play, and you have to really hustle a lot, and it takes a lot of time too. It can take hours every week.
A lot of sacrifice just on that end.
Yes, and then most of the time you don't get response, or maybe like the owner of a venue, restaurant, for example, asks you to say, "Hey man, let's come to my place, come to my restaurant. Let's talk about, let's brainstorm." And you go there, and then nothing happens. So
Oh, I won't. Yeah, I won't. If
you,
someone asks me to
you lose
come
the
and
time.
talk to them, I won't even go.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. I'm too nice. I'm too nice.
Yeah.
Uh, but yes, yes, it's very competitive because you have also so many amazing musicians, and they deserve to play. Also, they so
I mean, you've
it's
always struck me as the person who, you want to be striving to sound the best on your instrument. You want to always be, doing new songs, exploring new standards. You're like a true jazz musician. Have you been able to like, and you kind of, do you think that you're a perfectionist in some sense on your, with the overall career, or are you able to
uh,
let go of that and just kind of just focus on the playing now?
um, yes, perfectionist. Because I hear that I'm not where so many rooms so much room to grow, and so less time to do that between every other things that are going in life. But to come back to your previous question, even there is some there is the competitive aspect, and dealing with the venues, and I'm still really grateful to every day, every morning to be in New York, because that's something that I wanted since I was a kid, growing up in the suburb of Paris, and like looking at when I was 7 years old, 8 years old, looking at the back of the CDs, and seeing the where was the session recorded, or reading some books about jazz, and hearing about New York, Chicago, Kansas City, New Orleans, and be there and be a part of the scene, and be able to to meet some of the greatest musicians in jazz. For example, like Lee Konitz, with who I studied with, or
Oh, I didn't know
Reggie.
you study with Lee. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or Charlie Persip. Yesterday I was uh, listening to this EP, LP, for Oliver Nelson, Joe Newman, and Charles Persip on drums, and so I remember it makes me think about him at the when he was the instructor. I had it for my 2 years. I was in his ensemble. So
Yeah, you still, that's the thing. Like a lot of people spend time in New York, and the way you're talking about it right now, you still have that, uh, almost like looking at it like you don't want to become you're still looking at it like with the same excitement you did when you would see it on the back of the records to this day. And that's,
Yeah.
that's definitely, you're lucky that you still think that way. And, because a lot of people, their minds, they become kind of different in New York a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. But during COVID, I got out of New York actually, and I moved in just in front of New York, like in Secaucus. So it made me also maybe more relaxed, more it brought me some stability with the New York life and the environment. And I think from that time, I think I really improved. Like from 2020, it was in a way a little bit it was good for me, and I yeah, more balance, and I could focus more on playing, on growing as a musician. So
I mean, you're talking to a fellow. I also live in New Jersey too. So, it's definitely a great place to live. I was kind of curious too, because you've played with some really heavy people and, there's, in the jazz history, there's so many larger than life legends that we look up to, who aren't here anymore. If you could spend an hour with anybody, any jazz legend, who would it be? What would you want to ask them? Kind of curious.
wow, yes, I mean, I would love to hear play, like just like Louis Armstrong, for example, like just the father of jazz, like Louis Armstrong, and just yeah, hanging out with him, and hearing play, just like, and sing like Stardust. That would be something like really special. And but so many, like, just like Lester Young too, like Billie Holiday, Charlie Parker, of course. But yes, I think those you know uh, legends.
Yeah,
Feel-
definitely. And also, you've also written a lot of original music. I wanted to ask you about one of your records.
okay.
Um, I want to ask you about the tune, Breathe, that you wrote off. That's the title track off your record.
Mm.
Tell me about that tune. What was the inspiration behind it? And does it have any, like, a personal story for you, just, that you could put into words, anything like that?
Yeah, Breathe. So it was an album recorded in 2015, I think so. And now it's only available on Bandcamp. I just put it out of Spotify and all the
I
streaming.
wonder. I think I would still have it though if I paid for it and downloaded it. I'll check my phone now and see. I don't see it wouldn't have disappeared or anything like that.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp. You have probably some. You can find some tracks on YouTube
I
probably,
still
but
have it on my phone. I just checked.
oh, good. So yeah, yeah, it's a record with Peter Bernstein, Gerald Gold, Alan Menard, and it's a song. Yeah, it's a thing that's the first track. It's in 3/4,
It's got
and
some beautiful changes too.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Thank you. It's a yeah, simple melody, and then so I brought a version and of it during this at the studio, and then we started to change a little bit. So we created an arrangement on the spot, like when I start playing alone, and I think they after they follow me after one bar or two, that was created on yes, certain hits with the drums too. Yeah, it's it was okay. It was okay record. Yeah, it was.
What was the inspiration behind the composition for that one?
So yeah, inspiration. I was maybe looking for to write like a waltz, and I think I was just improvising with the keyboard, and something like a little motif came, and but honestly, like all my albums, all the recordings, like before 2020, I wish I could just remove all of them.
Me too. I get it. It's like that's
Sound
but
like
you I mean, I've had to make records, with very little money. You have to go into the studio for like a couple hours and do it's
Yeah,
just it's not fun.
yeah. I think we stay like 4 hours.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't enjoy making any of my records, the stress of it all, but so I
mm,
get it. I mean, you want to it's not what you people think it is, and people also have a lot of misconceptions about being a jazz musician, the lifestyle and the money and getting certain gigs.
Funny.
What do you think the biggest misconception is for people looking at jazz musicians and what they think about the life that they don't know?
Misconceptions. Well, like often I'm asked what is my job, like what I do besides, and I tell them that I work for Citibank and say, oh, okay. It's a joke. Now it's not really funny, but also they ask what other instruments that I play besides the harmonica. But I think well, people outside the music world, they are curious about us, and they because we all know that how life is expensive and we have to pay so many bills and it's getting more expensive everywhere. So it's a legitimate question because I see that we have fun. We are on stage playing, jamming with our instruments, and they think it's just they wonder how and probably they don't like they understand Taylor Swift, but they don't know that there are different levels of being a professional musicians, and we have to do a lot of other activities on the side, like you do the podcast, the teaching, creating a school, and writing music, or like finding out of different ways to. I did a few extra jobs, like jobs that weren't just playing music.
You
Like
mean not non-music related
yeah,
jobs?
non-musical, like being an actor. I mean, background actor. I did background actor for like the HBO series, just like that. You know,
Oh,
sex.
Sex in the City, the
Yeah,
new
yeah,
one.
yeah. So because I just had a little, I was curious to try that, and but you have people who do that professionally, and but I tried to do it again, but I didn't. I think my acting career is over. They didn't
You
call me. So
retired from acting.
yeah, maybe I need to change my pictures,
Yeah.
or I don't know, because you have to act certain way, like background, because you wait for so long, and then it's your turn, and then you just have to stay quiet, like not to interrupt. But it's interesting to see. And recently, I did also a film, short film in New Jersey. Where I was playing the role of a blues harmonica player. So it was a little, little film, but hey, it's to show you that you need to open to everything and diversify your skills. I think it's important.
Absolutely. It's like you know, on, Friday I was doing a private party gig, and then a couple days later doing some sort of teaching thing for kids, and then I was at the college. It's like the college
Yeah,
I teach. It's like it's not just one thing. I mean, you hope it will be at some point, but it's a lot, with the stress of, bills.
yeah. That's true. And but we're just lucky in that way that we can um, have create our own schedule and do what we want, and organize our life according to our passion, and that's a great thing. That's very important, I think.
Let me ask you a question. Uh, I mean, I've always thought that you should be like, like I think you should be more, I mean, quote unquote, famous than you are as a jazz harmonica player.
Okay, but yes,
No, like I mean, like when I say that word, does that make you, how does that make you feel? Like,
I'm not sure famous. I'm not sure what proportion. What I mean fame in in like the harmonica world or the jazz world. But
I think you've taken an instrument, there hasn't been that many jazz harmonica players over the years, but it's such a iconic sounding instrument. And then to take that into the straight ahead jazz world and the modern jazz world is, it's very cool. So, I
yeah,
mean, that's how I personally feel about it. And,
yeah, and
the,
that's
the,
it. I understand. So it's better. Sorry, I interrupt you, but it's better to get more recognitions because
that's what I mean, more recognition. Yes.
it leads to more performance opportunities. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is to play is to play more because it's so much fun. So that's what I like the best is to be on stage with a great band and making music. Just so great. So and then you have to connect with the public too. You have to okay, maybe you can receive some kind of grants, subventions, um, but it lasts just for a while. Like same thing as being in school, a student. You play with your ensemble in front of your teacher. You play in some kind of environment where people don't have to come to see you or to pay their tickets, and then at some point you have to have a project that make people want to go to the club and hear you. So I think that's something very crucial if you want to like sustain a career. I think in the in certain venues if you want to bring a project and
Yeah, when I say like, oh, I like to see you like more like famous, I mean like just playing, more like a lot more festivals and stuff
yeah,
like that type of thing, and
that would be
uh
great.
theaters, you know what I mean? That'd be good to
Stadium, stadium, so
what?
stadium.
Oh, stadium. Yeah, stadium. You
Yeah,
better have a good microphone for the stadium.
yeah. I think we are all a little bit under not valued, but we we all deserve also to get more recognitions and more props. I think because we all do so much work, so much we give ourselves so much, and then it's just finding like an act or a song that resonates with people. I think that's most important is to touch them. It can be playing the guitar a certain way, a song like a melody, and yeah, and the harmonica too. It's hard with the harmonica because it's a very special instrument. So to do just the harmonica and to make people really going to see you and just with the harmonica, it's not easy. It's not easy
Would
compared
you
to
be
saxophone or maybe another
let
instrument. Like, yeah.
let's say a pop star wanted you to, go on tour and be part of their band to play harmonica with them, but you'd have to leave, you wouldn't be able to like do any jazz gigs for a year or two. Like, would you think that's a sacrifice you would make?
It depends if they can afford me.
Well, if the money is like really
Um,
good.
yeah, no, yeah, of course. It's I'm open to adventures and musical encounters and being in different situations. I did a concert at the PlayStation Center
Oh, really?
by theater a few years ago with a DJ, famous French DJ, Klingande, and it was different, really totally different from your typical jazz gig because you have to jump on stage and there were some kind of explosions, confetti, everywhere on stage or like some very loud music, DJ music, and in front you have 2,000 people just dancing and out of their head, like high and screaming. So
Do you when you're in situations like that, or even like just do you ever get stage fright or get nervous or anything, or you just kind of just keep it it doesn't you don't think about those things?
I think it's if you are experimented in certain type of performances, then you're not too much frightened. I think if you're like this frightened, afraid, it's not going to be well for you, because it means that you don't know what's going on really. I think you can be excited. I think I'm always excited when I'm before getting on stage. It's like it's like a party. So I make sure that I prepare myself really well the day before, even start to have my clothes ready, print all the charts, make sure I confirm with everybody, so I can relax. And then when anything comes, like maybe there's one of the sidemen late, or somebody send you an email, or you receive some news you need to deal with, so it's okay, because you don't have to print all the charts, or you don't have to. It's already
You
taken
take
care
care
of.
of all that stuff before,
Yeah,
so that way you're able to just, relax and play. Yvonnick, I want to thank you so much for talking with me. And, we're going to well, I hope we'll do it again and get to play
yeah.
again and stuff. Where can people find you on the, on your social media and website? Do you want to share that with us?
Yes, they can follow me on Instagram, Yvonnick.Prené. Also on my website, they can sign up for newsletter on yvonnickprené.com. And yes,
All right,
that's enough.
beautiful. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Abe.